Welcome to Positive Atheism English Channel. Today, I am going to continue the fifth part of Faith and Superstition regarding Superstition, Support and Surrender, written by Dr. Narendra Dabolkar, the rationalist and an anti-superstition activist. Superstition, Support and Surrender. Let us discuss one more important point in faith and superstition, whether it is possible to eradicate superstitions completely in every individual. Here, we must find out why people become superstitious. Once the well-known writer Vijay Tendulkar, while addressing an audience in one of our programs, said, "Don't you think people become superstitious out of their need? This needs deeper understanding. When a human being has to face a traumatic shock, in order to survive and not let the trauma destroy his personality, he resorts to some superstition for support. The shock may be due to the cancellation of his daughter's marriage at the 11th hour, or loss of his son's job, or a serious accident in the family, etc. Let me illustrate. We say that a man's personality is good and a Bajaj scooter is good. This meaning of the first part of the sentence is that his hereditary characteristics and his upbringing influenced by the atmosphere he was brought up was good. The scooter is said to be good when its parts and their alignment are good. But even a good Bajaj scooter needs to be fitted by a shock absorber because the road on which you ride on it may be full of potholes. The scooter and the rider should be protected as much as possible from these shocks. Our life too is full of such big and small potholes of disappointments. Man uses superstitions as shock absorbers to enable him to withstand the decimating disappointments. This, of course, is not good but understandable. Understanding human beings and their behavior is the point here. That is why we always say in the Andhashraddha Nirmoolan Samiti movement, what we need is compassion, not anger and love instead of contempt. Human personality has many aspects and the ability to withstand stresses and strains varies from individual to individual. Sometimes people make fun of us. How long would you be able to boast of not being superstitious? They ask us and offer the answer, only as long as you are not to face with any shockingly severe disappointment. You will know when you face one. In a way, they are right. It is not possible to find a vehicle that will not break even if it falls in a ditch. Similarly, there could not be a human being who will not break down whatever be the shock and how severe it be. Of course, this can be decided only when it occurs. But our point is different. Suppose a member of a family is seriously ill. Although he is being treated by a doctor, the situation is quite complex. Whether the treatment will work and the patient will recover is quite doubtful. At such times, the doctor's treatment continues, but in addition, other means like sacred ashes of incense burnt in front of certain deities, sacred water given by a Baba, a talisman or amulet given by a witch doctor, etc. are also tried. This is understandable although irrational. However, if you start using those ashes every time you cross a road or enter your boss' cabinet because you are scared of crossing the road or facing your boss, it certainly means that you are enslaved by it. Here lies the distinction between using superstition and surrendering to it. When you surrender, you are no more a human being that reasons. Instead, the need for support from superstition should gradually reduce as your personality gains strength. Meaning of faith, a paradox. Now, we turn to the most important point, that is my faith, and what does my faith mean to me, and also if my faith is superstition in your opinion, and if so, what does it mean to you? Since we respect individual freedom in this country, you are free to follow your faith. But at times, two equally predominant faiths contradict each other, as in the case of our country. Some feel that our country ought to be a Hindu nation, while others think that this nation should not be allowed to become a religious state at any cost and remain a secular one. Andhashraddha Nirmoolan Samiti agrees with the latter. The problem here is, how does one decide which of these is faith and which is superstition? Here, we have to take into consideration an important aspect of the chemistry of faith. A man cannot go by his intellect alone. Intellect as well as emotions form the basis of his decisions. So, his decisions are colored by his emotions and thereby create the problem of faith and superstition. Make a continuum with trust at one end and superstition at the other, placing faith in the middle. Now, trust is where thought predominates while emotion has no place at all in it. If someone tells you very emphatically that 2 and 2 do not make 4, you will take him to be a fool and just ignore him. Here, he is not challenging of your faith, but in case of those who sacrifice a human being in order to obtain a male child, it is sheer superstition that has no place for thought whatever it. It is also entangled with just emotion. What is faith then? Faith is emotion that develops into thought founded in truth and translates into a motivating value. We have already seen that a man has intellect as well as emotion and he needs both. A train cannot run with just an engine but needs fuel as well. Many a time, human beings, instead of reasoning, let their emotions decide for them. One only needs to recollect the history of our independence. How many men and women leaped into the movement of the spur of emotion. It is human tendency to do so when emotionally charged. But that should not obliterate thinking altogether. This tendency of letting emotions rule over you with no place for thought becomes superstition. However, if the decisions taken on the spur of emotion are put to test by reasoning, it means developing it into a thought. There are 2 more criteria in addition to the one just discussed to distinguish faith from superstition. One is that faith is always motivational and the other that enables man's value system. Next, we will discuss the 4 criteria that decide whether your belief can be called faith. We shall see it in the next episode. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to our Positive Atheism English Channel presented by Dr. Samaram Multi-Channel Network, which is nearby 20 crore views. Please like, subscribe and share our videos. And for notification of our new videos, please click the bell icon.
Please download Samaram Multi-Channel app and watch your favorite channels from your mobile. App available on Google Play Store and subscribe to the channels.